Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, and this is another Boston Certified Hood Classic No Cap on God. Today we're going to be running through the top 5 Air Jordan releases so far this year. It can't be denied, to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the brand, Jordan Brand have been coming correct. Almost too correct. This has been a crazy year of releases when you think about it. The sheer amounts of awesome retros and cool collabs has been unprecedented. We have literally been spoiled for choice, and whilst the saturation has sort of killed the sneaker resale market, it's made collecting cool again because we don't have to battle the bots. We don't have to buy off the scumbag resellers. And a lot of really awesome sneakers are going on sale again. Now, these types of lists are always subjective, but I do think we are all going to generally agree on a lot of the choices that I have made here. But let's start things off with just a couple of sneaky special mentions. First of all, the Black Toe Reimagines. This is a sneaker that came out back in February and was kind of offered up as a little bit of a consolation prize. This was a GR of mammoth proportions. These shoes are currently sitting in the sales, and I just think they're worth a mention because I personally mess with the Black Toe 1 colorway. I think one of the reasons why these things didn't really resonate or hit for a lot of people is because of the way they were reimagined. That text on the collar, it's not it. Yes, it's a small detail, but sneakerheads are sticklers for details, and yeah, this one just didn't quite land as I think they'd maybe hoped it would have, but nonetheless worth a special mention. Next special mention has got to go to the SB4s. This is such a clean colorway. The Pine Green SB4 was like the sneaker of the year a couple of years ago. The simple color blocking, the updated shape, the retooling, all made for a better looking, more comfortable, easier wearing Air Jordan 4. And if this shoe could be sneaker of the year in 2023, then it's only right that this at least gets a mention. I do think they would have done well to bring this shoe out last year. Keeping the hype and the excitement around the whole SB line, I feel at least would have kept a little bit more interest in the Air Jordan 4 and probably would have led to these being a little bit more popular. Not that they didn't sell out, but you can find a lot of the smaller sizes of these still sitting around in some places. If I'm gonna wear an Air Jordan 4 out for any period of time longer than an hour, I'm going to be reaching for either these. Well, I mean, I'm reaching more for the Pine Greens because those are the sort of go-tos, but because of how much more comfortable these are than regular Air Jordan 4s, it just makes them an easier go-to. Right, so let's get into the list, and in this list I want to offer up my thoughts on the releases, the sneakers themselves, as well as offer up some of the criticisms that have been whipping around for each of these shoes. And I'm not going to do them in any particular order. Starting off, the J5 Black Metallic Reimagines. What a shoe. This is, in my opinion, the best Jordan 5 colorway of all time. Something about the black metallics with the white laces just hits effectively. Shape is good, quality of the materials is good, fabrication on point, but I think one of the details that made this such an awesome release is the tasteful reimagination that Jordan Brand decided to apply these with. The other thing that this shoe does incredibly effectively, and you guys out there that have got black nubuck J's will know this, is these attract dust like nothing else out there. I mean, check this out. I actually tried to use my duster to dust these down, and these ended up dusting the duster. Like, this nubuck was taking the dust out of the bloody brush here. In terms of the release and stuff, these came out in that red hot month of February. These sold out. They have actually been climbing up a little bit in price, and I feel like by the time winter rolls around and people are looking for these types of all black shoes or mainly black shoes to get off winter fits with, these prices are going to go up even more. But banging shoe, really good release. Next up, the Jordan 1 Bred High 85s. What a shoe. What a release, what an advertising campaign. This shoe probably had the biggest ad campaign behind it. You guys remember the whole build-up, whether it was Jordan Brand deleting their socials, whether it was all of the banned advertising campaigns, Nike campus, fining people for wearing Air Jordan 1s. Like, there was a genuine high level of excitement around the release for this. And Jordan Brand empowered the retailers to do their own first come first serves for the products, which ended up launching before the Nike Sneakers app release. The resale prices were really high, early doors, which just kind of gave this general sense of, man, I really need to have that shoe. And so in terms of like hype and excitement around the release, this is probably like the #1 shoe on the list from that perspective. Now the actual shoe itself, I feel, is an absolute masterpiece. I feel like they really knocked it out the park with this. The fact that they went into the DNA of the archives and brought out some OGs from '85 to essentially re-engineer these from scratch, giving us a high quality leather material on the upper, I think was fantastic. And I mean, they're just beautiful. I think for me, I like this shoe a lot because I'll never have a pair of '85s. You know, the opportunity to cop a pair of '85s for a decent price is a memory fading into the past, but this will do. Some of the criticisms that I've heard around this shoe is that the shape isn't actually that accurate. These are actually a little bit more like mid-tops. The other criticism I've heard is that the leather is a little bit stiff and as a result, not very good quality. But I feel like both of these criticisms aren't really well founded. You see, that stiff leather is supposed to be stiff. It's supposed to be like that because it's going to wear in over time. And I think unless you've got a pair of '85s on hand to really compare, you can't really say the shape is on point or not. So yeah. Next up, we've got the Grape 5s. Man, the reason why this shoe is on the list is not just because of recency bias. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of recency bias at play here, but I just feel like this was a really well executed retro. Boom, that's a nice big tick there. I feel like the shape is on point, very similar to the black metallics in terms of the shape. Toe box is nice, the heel collar is nice, they're not too bulky, they're not too puffy, they're not too inflated. The quality of the materials, at least in my case, were pretty satisfactory. The QC was pretty decent. And I mean, that's what it is all about, right? The Nike Air on the booty. The fact that we haven't had a true to OG retro of the Grapes since 1990 is kind of crazy, considering how many different variations of the Grapes we've had over the past 35 odd years. So yeah, really well executed retro. Fantastic that these have sat around and may even in some sizes go on sale at the end of the season. And even though the connection to Will Smith probably isn't as cool as it used to be in 2025, given the bros fall off, it is still nonetheless a beautiful retro, fantastic summer colorway, and deserving, in my opinion, of a top 5 spot on the list for sure. Right, we've got 2 pairs left on the list to go through, and this pair is not going to be any surprise to any of you, I'm sure. We're talking about the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4s. This release pretty much has it all. The hype, the build-up, the excitement around the release. The release itself, the shoe itself is a masterpiece in storytelling. Quality of the materials are fantastic. The unique characteristics, particularly in this fabric that runs around the mudguard, having the texture, the feel, and the look of an actual brick, is genius. The little Easter eggs are dope as well. And the kicker for me is that I actually got these for retail, bruv. So that's enough to inflate my opinion of them a little bit. And so this shoe has really cemented Nigel's place as one of Nike's top collaborators at the moment, if not Jordan Brand's top collaborator. Some of the criticisms out there that have been whipping around about these include the fact that, yeah, this colorway is not very wearable. It's a bright orange / red hued sneaker. What on earth are you gonna pair these with? These criticisms are generally levied by people that can't dress or didn't hit for retail. The other criticism is that these are overhyped. And whilst I can totally agree that the shoe maybe is a little bit overhyped, that doesn't make it a bad sneaker. I mean, how many of you guys out there would agree with me that, yeah, this shoe is overhyped, but bro, I still love these. And I think the kicker for me with this shoe is it's actually comfortable. Like, I've worn these 3 or 4 times now at this point, and they've actually worn really well. Like, considering how much I've worn them, they don't really look like I've beaten them up too badly. They're fantastic to wear in terms of the comfortability. It just ticks all the boxes. And finally, to round out the top 5 Jordan releases so far this year, these were never not going to feature the Air Jordan 4 white cement. Now, how crazy is it to think that we've had in the same year, like the same half of the year, the black metallic 5s, the Grape 5s, the Bred ones, UNC ones, black toe ones. It's literally been an absolute party bonanza extravaganza for Jordan collectors so far this year. And these were available. These were not hard to get. At least here in the UK, these are still sitting around in some places, which is crazy. And at least from my own perspective, I know you guys have probably seen my review where I compare the 2025s against the 2016s. I think the 2025s are far superior to the 2016s in a number of different respects. Mainly though, the shape and the construction. Like the 2025s make the 2016s look a little bit more like low tops, honestly. Now, most of the criticisms that I've heard around the white cements are pretty much targeted at the quality control and the quality of the materials in general. And whilst I do understand where people are coming from with the quality, like it's not the nicest feeling leather, the fabrication and the QC on my pair is pretty flawless. So I, for one, am really satisfied with my pair of white cements, and I can't wait to bust these out. But I'm gonna wait until I have destroyed my 2016s a little bit more to break these out a little bit further down the line. And there we go. That is my list of the top 5 Jordan releases so far this year. All I can say is, wow, what a year of releases, and we've still got a whole bunch to go, including some this very week with the shattered backboards coming back and the launch of the Air Jordan 40, and a whole bunch more set to drop in the second half of this year. So let me know what you guys think. What are your top 5 J's to release so far this year? Feel free to sound off down below and let me know in the comments. Do me a favor, guys, and drop me a follow over on my second channel where I am building up some momentum over there, and also go and chuck me a follow over on IG. I really would appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care for now. Peace.